Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. How's it going, everybody? All right, hello, hello. Welcome to Digital Iliad. Episode 344. We're working on our FTL-like games because we are obsessed with space and space accessories. How's it going? Sapphire Starship on a 95 stream streak. Out of control. Incredible. Commander, Rhiannon, Boolean. How's the magenta name tag crew doing? Yeah, it's an impressive stream streak. You've stuck around since your first watching of the stream, Starship. That's incredible. Incredible. Thank you so much. I usually mention this at the end of the streams, but y'all are the ones who make this stream. I might be the one that goes live, but it's y'all who kind of make the stream what it is. So thank you. Thank you for coming back. Hanging out. You're doing good. Yeah, you're almost to 100. Don't blow it. You missed one day. You were able to save the streak. I believe. Keep in mind, this weekend we are going to be streaming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll probably be starting around this time because Ludum Dare, which is what we're doing this weekend, is starting at 6 p.m. my time. So we're gonna do like a prep stream tomorrow. That'll probably start around now, 1 p.m. ish my time, and we'll probably run through 7 p.m. ish my time. The theme reveal will be at 6 p.m. So we'll do some pre-work. The theme will be revealed. And we'll do some theme. We'll do some deliberating before I end it for the day. But Ludum Dare starts in 1 day, 5 hours, 1 minute. We're very close. Very close. We can do some theme voting right now, which will be nice. Let's do it. Why not? The final round. The final round down. All right, what do we got? What do we got in here? We've got parasite, communication, protect. No text in the entire game. Side effects, leave something behind, split, paths, the wrong tool for the job, transformation, merge, strange machines, voyage, shelter, falling apart, and signal. These are a mashup of the first 2 rounds, right? Yes. So I liked shelter, horde, layers, paths, waves, and leave something behind in the first round. I also liked protect, voyage, side effects, you are the environment, and strange machines. Strange machines is like always in here. I think it would be fun. It would be probably very hard, but very, very difficult. Commander, can you talk about your side of news? Yeah, please do. I saw your message of the same effect on Discord, and I was like, what's the news? What's the news? The wrong tool for the job. Make a game that shouldn't be done with isometric tile maps. Like a platformer. Yeah, that'd be brutal. Just make a game that's super inappropriate. Make like a power washing simulator, but only give the player like destructive weapons. There's funny stuff you could do. So what do we think? What do we think about these? Well, I think my standout is paths, not least because I have a lot of tech to make isometric paths and path following and 3D paths and stuff. So paths is probably what I would hope for. Parasite would be interesting. Unusual communication. No text in the entire game. I mean, I like this, but like, how does onboarding work? How do you say press the B button? Do you just say press the... Yeah, this is dumb. That's like a meme theme. You want it to be a surprise for the stream? You went to your local record shop today. You'll be signing a consignment deal for your CD next Tuesday? Hell yeah. That's awesome. Ship it. Ship it, Commander. That's great. Put all the text on the itch page. I know I already do that. That's typically all I ever do. You want an in-game tutorial in a Ludum Dare game? You think I'm just made of time? Hey, Corolla. How's it going? Happy Thursday. Welcome to the short stream. Hosted by me, Mr. Tired. Wrong tool for the job. This is funny, but I don't actually want it to win, so... Paths would be cool. Merge could be interesting. Voyage. I'll take Voyage. Why not? Very neutral on strange machines. Also neutral on transformation. Leave something behind is kind of interesting. I'm kind of interested in that. I think side effects could be interesting too, where you don't do anything directly, like everything is done indirectly. Stream is short, real short for you and you leave in 20 minutes. True. It's in the eye of beholder, I guess. Truly, length and shortness are in the eye of the beholder, thanks to things like relativity, gravitational lensing. Leave something behind could be a good packing type game. Yeah, something about... I'm almost thinking of something where it's like reaction based. It would be kind of like side effects, where it's like you would need to like... I'm thinking about like dynamics of like, if you want to... Technically, if you want to move... Like if you're in a spaceship and you're moving, you have to cause some kind of reaction to make that happen, right? And like you have to give something of yourself. Usually it's just fuel. But like nothing happens in a vacuum, so I think leave something behind is interesting. Falling apart seems nice. It could. I have mixed ideas about falling apart, because falling apart is cool, but it doesn't give you... It's like a negative, right? It describes something like bad happening, and it's like, so what do you do around that? Like, what's the goal that you would create around falling apart, right? Like, are you trying to make stuff fall apart more? Are you trying to prevent things from falling apart? Like, I'm gonna say I'm mixed on it. Yeah, you showed your little CD parcel and off topic on Discord. I liked it. I saw that. I like that. Corolla, you played a short game. You had a turn-based inventory management puzzle to avoid throwing a stowaway out of a spaceship. You could break down certain things. Oh, interesting, interesting. I think that'd be cool. So you kind of just click +1 on the ones you like, or the ones that I think will work well. Yeah, you can be neutral, negative, or positive about it. And we've already been through 2 rounds of voting. I seem to have... My attitude seems to be about 1/3 of each. I downvote about 1/3, I leave about 1/3, and I upvote about 1/3. That seems to be my style here. I might take a slightly different approach because this is the final round and I want to be a little more pacific, but maybe not. Hey, Magoo. Got great progress on your OS. That's great to hear. You can't hear, so bye. Okay, bye, Magoo. I'll wave just so you could hear. So you could see. Sapphire, you use icons? Yeah, but it's like, how do you tell them to press the E key? Because the E is text. It's a cute idea that I think would actually be quite bad. And it also doesn't tell you anything about the kind of game you make. There's always a few of these. There's always a few meme themes that get voted up early on. And all you just have to hope that they don't make it all the way. I think Protect is interesting. I think that could be fun. I'd be concerned about it just devolving into a bunch of like escort quests, but Protect could be fun. Parasite could also be fun. Merge could be fun. These Parasite and Merge and Split, these all describe more mechanical things to me, which is nice. Some of them suggest to me things that are very complicated. Like Shelter would be fun because you have a pretty good idea of what it means to create to achieve shelter. Hey, Chris Knife, here's a falling apart idea. Reverse Catamaran. Run into obstacles with your boulder that gets smaller every time you use it. That could be kind of fun. You're like trying to shed things. Good luck making that in 48 hours, but it sounds pretty good. It's like, yeah, no big deal. We're going to make a reverse Katamari game in 2 days. That's also something I think about a lot when I think about themes. Is I'm like, oh, there's a cool idea here, but how big is the idea that's cool? The key could have braille dots or Morse code. Or when you hover over it, you shout E. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad, Rhiannon. Use arrow keys. Yeah, it depends on your definition of what text is, I guess. But I think it's a stupid theme, so we're just going to downvote it and not think about it. And if it wins, we'll just make whatever game we want and include no tutorialization. The joke about community voted themes is that they're always bad. Always. So we'll see. We'll see what we end up getting. All right, I don't really know what to do with the rest of these, which maybe means that they're mostly downvotes. Signal could be interesting. It's about communicating something. Shelter could be interesting. Merge, split, protect, parasite. Hey, separatist observation. What up? Hey, see you, Commander. There's ways around it, Sapphire, but I think this is just bad. You know what they say, don't throw good stones after bad. Which means a good follow-up on a bad idea is not good. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the rest of these, which means I guess I'm pretty meh on them. Is there any I absolutely do not want to do? I think merging and splitting and stuff would be kind of hard for us, but I could see how we would do it. I kind of like protect. I think parasite would be hard. I think I'm actually like deeply neutral on most of these. Merge, split, parasite, protect, shelter, signal. Shelter could be cool, but like I don't want to make a survival game, so I'm gonna downvote shelter. Hey, Nix with the 5 stream streak. How's it going, Nix? I'm tempted to just be neutral on like the rest of these. I think I've upvoted the ones I like and downvoted the ones I absolutely don't want. And just we can just be kind of meh about the rest. It's a lot of neutral. But why not? Whatever. Yeah, Ludum Dare starts tomorrow. We'll be streaming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Be there. Be dare. That would have been better to say. That would have been cooler. All right, I guess we should attempt to do some work. Some work should be done. I've got my coffee, which is really nice. Nix, you spent like a whole week pulling your hair out due to your compiled code being somehow different than your normal code. Turns out you forgot to update your JSON files in the game ready version that you precompile for people, so they only need to like install your mod. Oof. At least it was only 1 week. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. Game dev is so much about maintaining momentum that if you run into a hard blocker like that and you lose your momentum, it can be so devastating. So what we're working on right now is we're trying to work on a capsule art for a Steam page. So we're trying to make all the different store assets that we need. We're trying to make one capsule art piece, or at least one set of capsule art elements that we can recombine and reframe in different ways. I was also thinking I want these for like a vertical banner. Like, I want something that I could use as a vertical banner for like if I ever took the game somewhere, which I don't know if I would. I don't feel like Lofi Flyby is going to be a game that like demos in person particularly well, but I might do it anyway. I was just thinking about it. But yeah, we're working on this, kind of all the different capsules that we would need. We have kind of a direction I want to go in, which is I want to make the... Oh, I can't zoom into this anymore. I got like a lower res version of this picture this time. But I want to make like a version of the bubble ship. Let me see if I can find a higher res version of the bubble ship. I had one yesterday. Here's one. So I kind of want to do a version of the bubble ship. And we kind of started working on it, but I don't feel super great about it. There's a lot bad. There's a lot of bad things about this. I'm thinking I want to maybe bowl it a little bit more. Like have this bowl be a little deeper and have the arch come up a little higher. Just so we get a little more... We get a little bit more of a framing around these two. I also think maybe... I don't like this composition. I like this a lot better. But maybe this is bad too. Like maybe I need a new outfit for her, or I need to rethink the pose for the cat or whatever. There's a lot of problems, but I like the core elements we've got going on. I like our little stellar body deal. I like our typeface. I like the idea of the bubble. You'll notice it's pretty straightforward. I couldn't even figure out how to, you know, redo the bubble highlights. That's how, like, not an artist I am. I do think maybe I want this to be a little further down, maybe like this. Feels a little too close. Yeah, we're struggling. We're struggling with this. We had a composition from yesterday, which I kind of, well, I wouldn't say I liked it, but like our initial composition didn't work out. I liked it, but it just didn't work out. And we identified a lot of issues, like the ship is trash. The contrast is too high. The stellar body we came up with, I really like, but because the trail went off screen, it like wasn't clear what it was. Kind of seemed like it was like a fireball like flying through, not like a thing being siphoned into a black hole. So you know, I want to add this. I want to incorporate this element to replace our ship. Something like this, which is not very accurate for what's happening in the game, but that doesn't matter for a capsule art. It's more like vibes based. Hey, Arneo. Arneo, good-looking bubble. You planning on making a quote-unquote hull for it? No. What we're doing in the capsule art is going to have no relation to what's happening in the game. Because a ship like this would be totally meaningless. Maybe we'll find a way to sneak it in as like a shuttle pod or something. But to me, Mobius is the GOAT. So any opportunity to like crib on like a Mobius design, I will gladly take. There are other references for this. I mean, we're kind of ending up with something simpler even because of how little space we have. It's funny how many versions of this little bubble ship there are that he drew. There's even a third version of it, but I can't find it. Actually, I think there's 4 versions of it. It's kind of interesting when you think about it. Yeah, everyone go check out the world of Adina. It's really good. Some people don't think it's really good, and those people I don't understand. I mean, yeah, the writing is cheesy and it's like very 70s, but when's that stopped anyone? All of Mobius and like Jodorowsky stuff is all very like new age, you know? Got that new age spiritualism to it. But it's really, really pioneering sci-fi. Fun fact about the world of Adina. The first book was like basically an advertisement for Citron. Pour over time, Chris. Coffee. Yeah, exactly. I've got my coffee right here. Like that one single frame of accidental show off of the bubble ship I made. Yeah, we'll get back to it. I'm just assembling my references. I think this is about it. I can't find the high-res versions of some of these images that I was using the other day. Here's one. You know what I need? I really need the art of Adina. I don't have that. Yeah, there's another version of the bubble ship. I really like the bubble ship. I would love to get more like iconic ships in the game. You've never heard of Mobius? Has that optimistic, bright look that you do like. It used to be more popular in sci-fi. Yes, if you look into it at all, you will realize almost every sci-fi design since like the late 70s owes a tremendous amount to Mobius. Like Mobius was part of the initial team that Jodorowsky put together to make Dune, back when they were going to make Dune. And he brought together a lot of people like Geiger, H.R. Geiger, the alien guy, and a few other people that went on and kind of even though their initial movie got canceled, they went on into Hollywood and influenced a huge amount of films, especially Ridley Scott films like Alien and Blade Runner. You see the design of Mobius, aka Jean Giraud, and Geiger and those guys all over the place in sci-fi. If you don't even have to look hard, you just look a little. So yeah, I would encourage anyone to study Mobius. His work is incredible. Yeah, so I don't love this couch thing. I was trying to go for this like couch look, but I think that was a mistake. Whoa. There we go. I think I want to change this bowl shape a little bit. This is good and nice and flat. Is there just room to put these characters like, oh boy. Like I would like to just have. Can I just pretend that this is like a flat disc that they're on? I don't think it can be a one seat like this. And if it's one seat, it needs to be like centered. I don't think I can just do this. I don't think there's enough going on here. I like the colors. I think we're settling in on a color set that is acceptable to me. But I don't know. It's an interesting read, Nix. You like the bubble? I like the bubble as well. I think the bubble is fine. The bubble was the easiest part. Figuring out how to fit the characters in here is a bit of a struggle for me. Sarcasm is coming out. Yeah, retail does that to you. I also am not sure about how to make this make this composition coherent. I'm having a hard time with that. I could try to put some controls and stuff here, but anything I put in here will just get in their way because of how they're facing us. I'm tempted to like put them a little bit further in and like arcing the bowl up a little bit more, like arcing this scoop a little more. I like this line work. I don't love the orphaned pixel out here all at the end, but it kind of works, honestly. It's not really an orphan pic. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a real strong pixel artist. Rhiannon, you could put some consoles and some luggage or something that might be in there if it was a small shuttle taking Ripley up to her real ship. No, that's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea. It's an open question of what does it even look like? What would it even look like for them to have luggage aboard? Yeah, we could go grab a console. See if there's like a console that would be terrible. How big is this? Pretty small. I'm just gonna grab a console that I already have just to see what it looks like. I would need to incorporate this a little better, but it's kind of like what I'm thinking of. Do I like that? Oh, too far. You like the bubble J cup? Yeah, thanks. We tried to redo the ship in a way that's more in line with the kind of language of the background here, and is less in the way. So we've opted for the Mobius bubble ship. How are you doing, Jacob? I assume you're too busy with your game for Ludum Dare. Yeah. At a small resolution, it could look like squares of pixels. Yeah. Your plant's doing well. She's so tall, you've had to move the time-lapse camera. Oh, that's so funny. Are you seeing them through the bubble? If so, you may want to add some yellow tint over the top of them so it makes it look like there's some bubble in between us and them. Right now, they almost look like they could be sitting on top of the bubble. Yeah, we tried that yesterday. The problem is it washes them out really badly. So if I just move the bubble to be in front of them... bubble fill. If I move the bubble fill to be in front of them, it washes them out so much you almost can't see them. And I think any amount of that will severely harm the readability of the scene. So I think I agree with you, but I also think that like we just can't do it. Because yeah, to me, I think it's pretty clear that they're not outside the bubble. But yeah, doing the realistic thing here is just it washes the whole thing out in a way that I don't think it helps. Like I think it makes it really hard to see what Jonesy is. I think it's good for atmosphere and stuff. But yeah, I don't know if we can actually do that. Chili update, Nyx. She's a chirper and a mouser. That sounds like a cat. Jacob, the weekend isn't the best. You've been actually stuck doing trailer Steam page stuff. Been almost 2 weeks. You know, I'm feeling your pain. I'm beginning to feel your pain. I liked them being set down into this space a little more, rather than just sitting atop it. I think at the moment I'm not sold on using a console or anything here. But I am somewhat sold on like setting them a little further into this. Just making it work in such a way where you can still see everything is a little tricky. This is a little better. Bit of a tangent with the back, but I think that's fine. I think I'm pretty much stuck on doing like a single seater. I think it would be good to have them a little hidden a little bit. I think I still prefer this though. Set up the preview. I think what I want is I want a little like engine trail thing kind of like this, but I feel like that would be confusing more than it would be helpful, but it might also be kind of neat. Like if we gave her this kind of a thing. You know? to give the bubble like kind of a sense of momentum. Sense of movement. I also could maybe move this down a little. Kind of interferes with the read of it being a circle. I think tilting it forward a little might be helping. Emphasis on might. Do I like that a little better? Not sure, actually. But it gives us a little more flexibility, maybe, in terms of positioning these two. Still would be nice to have a thruster and an escape pod. Yeah, I'm thinking a little trail off the back might be indicative and helpful. It's just a little hard because the bubble is semi-transparent, so it's like, how would that work? I guess I would have it off of this. So I would do something like... I'll do something off the back here. Just to give it a sense of it's moving. Kind of like, you know, this. This has a little thing and a little spitter, but it helps. It helps communicate the momentum of it. So I think something could be good. I mean, I could theoretically put an engine that like sticks out past the bubble in the same way. I'm just not sure if I want to bother. I would probably prefer to do something out the back here. Let's look at that. Okay, I have an engine trail layer. Apparently I planned for this. I don't really care about the specifics. I just want to see if this kind of works. I don't have my tablet set up, so drawing this is a little hard. I think something like that is going to be important for communicating momentum. Just don't know quite what yet. Something, literally anything to communicate the momentum. We'll go with that for now. I think when it's zoomed out, it's not as obvious that the bubble is not around them. Yeah, I think the eye makes associations. Because who's to say whether or not this is already tinted, right? I mean, we are, but I don't think that... I'm not worried about that part. I'm worried about a lot, but maybe not that part. Sapphire, maybe make the bubble behind them darker so that it makes it look clearer. Yeah, I don't know. I think if we get rid of the fill, it looks a little weird, too. I don't know. The fill might be too strong. I kind of like it. Kind of is darker. I mean, it can't be darker than the surrounding space, would I guess might be my point. Really? I don't think that's particularly doable unless we use a darker color. I guess it could be. Yeah, it's hard to do that. It's doing something, but it's having a very minimal effect. What if we made it all black? This works, but the problem is it's not achieving another objective I have, which is for it to frame, to help frame and disambiguate Ripley from the background. I think the darker bubble is kind of a good look, though. I think this might be too strong. Maybe we do need a darker color. I don't know. Could you add small particle circles instead of a trail? Maybe. Maybe. It would be nice to have a thruster and an escape pod. Yeah, again, practical concerns are not the point of the capsule art. It's vibes. It's pure vibes. Purely vibes is what we're going for. I think the engine trail serves its purpose at the moment. I think I could refine it a little. I want to be careful because we are using these colors elsewhere. I'm really not sure where to frame all of this stuff, which is the bigger problem for me. I don't want to get the bubble thing too close to the eye. I don't know where to put it. Nice. Enjoy the ice cream. kind of like it without the fill? Yeah. No, I kind of need the fill for the disambiguation, unless I specifically frame them like this where you can kind of tell. Yeah. I think it's good. I think it's good to have. I don't know. Kind of don't like the way my little bubble thing suggests the eye in Lo-Fi. I mean, maybe that's good, but it's kind of weird in terms of where it's falling. I'm not super concerned about the composition yet. I don't think we're anywhere close to figuring that part out. If we just get the different elements, I'll be happy. 'Cause I don't understand how to do actual composition work. Like, I would be tempted to put this like pretty far away from everything, but like that's not gonna read in a capsule image. We'll also need to do a lot of post-processing to not make this look cheap. Kind of like how we ended up pumping up our style guide here. Neapolitan is a good ice cream. What's going on in Off Topic? Some backseat artwork. I do need a stream chat. Oh, interesting idea for the bubble movement. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see that. I see kind of what you're going for. So you're thinking of like, this is going to be in the wrong direction, but you're thinking of like, kind of deal. I think that's cool. I mean, obviously my version of it just now is like shit, but I think that's cool. I don't know if it quite does what we want, but I think it's cool. I kind of like it. It's kind of spacey. I get the idea though. It's very Jetsons-y. Probably want it a little farther away, huh? I guess you would want them to be farther away from each other as they got farther, not closer. Maybe this one's too far. It's too far. I think it's an interesting idea. I don't know how I would arrange that. I mean, obviously what I should do is I should see what it looks like when it's going the correct way. Ignore this part. I think that's kind of neat. I don't think it totally works for us, but good idea though. You like it? That was your idea. Yeah, I think this is just a little more in line with what we've got going on elsewhere, but that doesn't mean that much. What do I feel about this? I don't know about the engine trail. I think an engine trail seems like a pretty good idea. I'm still just more concerned about getting the two of them, getting these characters in here. Doing something in space where there's famously lots of empty space probably makes it hard to compose. Yeah, the problem for me is actually I'm having a hard time managing the negative space, ironically. Okay, I kind of like this suggestion of the third dimension here. I don't love this. Maybe that's my fault here. What if I... What if we did the opposite then? Maybe a little better. I don't know. This is like okay. Lack of detail is a little annoying. But I also feel like detail might only make it more confusing. Contrast is good for the bubble, somehow. Like, Jonesy and Ripley stand out pretty well, so that's good. Design is okay. Not great, okay. Maybe color could use a little bit of work. I don't know. We could definitely have worse. I just don't quite know how I would integrate this. Maybe like this? Black and white, give it a comic book vibe. You mean like manga or something? Yeah, kind of. I very much understand and see why capsule art is like its own thing. And it usually has a differentiated style from like the game itself, even in cases of like pixel art and stuff. Like, what does Ropica's look like? Ropica's Idle Island. Like, Ropica's is really good. Ropica's is literally like a screenshot, and it like works, which is frustrating. Like, that's awesome that they were able to pull that off. I mean, you could argue that it's not as good as it could be. I love little details like how the tree comes to a tip as part of the A. Like, I don't think that was on purpose, but there's like, it like kind of works. It's literally just this. They literally just took their like main menu thing, moved the title over, and they were like, this is sufficient. This is sufficient to tell you what the game is about. It's about a frog taking a nap on a little island of grass in a sea of sky. And it's like, yeah, that's the game. That's the whole game. They capture the vibe so well with just such a simple little capsule thing. Wow, but yeah, it works. I know, the fact that they were able to get away with just a screenshot is maddening to me. Most people don't do that. Most people do something way more involved, like cast and chill. I really like the cast and chill one. It's not pixel art, but it like, well, it is pixel art obviously, but it's like, it's high res enough and it's its own perspective. It doesn't just use the side-on perspective. Like, this guy is like, has like 3 or 4 times the number of pixels as like the in-game version of him does. But it suggests pixel art. It looks so good. Is this the main capsule? This must be the main capsule. Not the header capsule. No, it should be the header capsule, shouldn't it? Based on my understanding of what's what. Main header cap. So it's not, I don't think it's this. Top of the store page, recommended for you. Oh, okay. Browse views on big picture mode and daily deals. Okay. So it is this. The main capsule is what they're talking about. So for us, if we were to do like a main capsule, it would be approximately like this. And is this okay? Like, is this terrible? I don't think this is the worst. I didn't frame this on purpose, but I feel like we could do worse than this. A lot of feedback I got on my first composition is that there is no negative. The negative space that I ended up with was like really funky, like this. The negative space was weird. It was weird how I jammed her in between the title. I thought it was clever. But yeah, there's tension. There's confusion about the orientation of the elements. There's lots of problems with this one. That was our initial one. And like, this feels like a pretty big improvement if you just frame it like that. Definitely feels like an improvement. Is it good enough? Probably not. Is it, well, is it good? Probably not. Is it good enough? Maybe. Strong, maybe. It's smart? Okay. You wish you could be a... Oh, yeah, the Ropica thing is really smart. I mean, I'm trying to take that with this. Like we're doing this at our resolution. We're doing this at the pixel art resolution of the game, which I think very few people do. There's probably some ways we could refine this. But yeah, for like a main capsule, I think that's okay. For a header capsule, maybe we have a problem. But maybe we don't. For the small capsule, we definitely have a problem. I don't know what the F to do for a small capsule. Oops. What we would probably need to do is I can't really increase the size of the small capsule. My options are to use this scale or to triple it in size. So maybe we don't have a choice but to triple it. Unless we just go with something like this. And then I'm back to like putting her in the middle of the framing, which I don't love. Oh yeah, that just isn't gonna work. So I think the small capsule is gonna need to be tripled. So right now it's 40 by 15. I think we would need to make it the full 120 by 45. I don't even think I have 120. Maybe I do. Yeah, I'm not sure. We can't do 145. We can't double it either. We have problems because of pixel art. We have pixel art problems in our life here. Could I get away with something like this? Like too far. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do about that. I'll have to think about that. Honestly, we might need to like do something like get rid of the bubble for the small one and just have them put them behind something and put the title in there. We might need to do something else for the what I did here. Yeah, for the main, this looks okay. Okay. Emphasis on the O and the K. Like, not great, but passable. These are off by 1 somehow. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they're off by a lot. Something like that. Just in terms of framing. I'm going to be told that this is super busy and there's no negative space again. But I don't know. It seems like an improvement at least. All right, Sea Sapphire. Jacob, you think you would make the title more stylized? It is possible. These are double pixels. These are double pixels, so in this context, we could do things with this. I could make a doubly stylized version of the font. The problem is how we would handle the small capsule. Which the smallest version of the small capsule is 120 by 45. So here I have it as 40 by 15, so that it's 3 times the size of the smallest version. But there's like no room for anything except maybe her in the title. And maybe that's okay. So like maybe the small one would be like we get rid of all of this. We just put the character, we frame the backdrop a certain way. And we just put the small logo next to her. Somehow. I don't know how to do this one without just framing her between the logo. So with this version, there's almost nothing you can see elsewise. But that's fine in my mind because it's really about her. And it would more be about just framing them against. So like we could just put a solid color behind her or something for the small one. Or find some positioning of this that like helps. Maybe something like this. Or, I mean, we could use the bubble. And then get rid of things like the reflection dots or something. I actually guess I don't totally hate that. The Y gets manipulated pretty brutally, but I don't know. Oh, and this L. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to incorporate the bubble ship with the small version of the logo. But that is a problem I'm willing to figure out. Need to move everything back. I think we're headed in the right direction, though. Does small capsule need the title? I think it's close to required. Hey, Commander, welcome back. Oh, yeah, Nix, congratulations. I mean, I hope it's congratulations. But yeah, the election news coming out of Hungary is pretty incredible. It makes me as an American hopeful. Just not a feeling I've had a lot recently. Title must be legible. Yeah, they have advice. The thing that might be okay for us is, I'm sure you're all over this stuff too, Jacob. All the Steam graphic requirements and library requirements and whatever. But yeah. Logo clearly legible would be a significantly important part. The caveat is that you can use different art compared to your other capsules, which is nice. But for us, because of our resolution, I don't know like how much of that I want to do. But maybe we do. Maybe the small capsule we end up providing. There was a different direction we could have made. We could have gone. For simplicity's sake, I did like an exterior shot. I thought that would be better. But maybe the true is that it would have been better if we had done an interior shot. Luckily, you didn't draw them yourself. You forked out cash for a guy that does that as their job. I totally see why this is a guy's job. You didn't get the Mega Bonk guy, did you? Because I've heard the Mega Bonk guy has been responsible for a lot of very successful capsule arts. This is like an incredible piece of artwork. I forgot all the pieces the Mega Bonk capsule artist did, but they've done a lot of the big ones recently. You don't think so? He did Hexagod. Okay, what's Hexagod look like? Hexagod is a good indicator because this is like, here's the interesting thing about capsule art, right? You're just communicating a vibe. So like the Hexagod capsule art is totally different than what Hexagod actually looks like to play. You're just trying to communicate a feel, right? I wonder what the small version of the Hexagod one looks like. Most of the small capsule arts are so low res, but you don't notice them. Because by this point, all you see is the title and everything else is just a little blurry thing that you just kind of almost gloss over. But yeah, this is the distinction here is good, and I probably should have been more willing to do something like this. But I would like to communicate that my game is pixel art in my header, and I would like to be able to do it myself because I'm not going to shell out for this. Not that I'm cheap, I'm just not, that's just not part of the ethos of like how I'm making these games. Which is not like a hill anybody should die on. I wonder what a game about a black hole. I wonder what not a game about digging a hole, a game about feeding a black hole. So look at how minimal and interesting their capsule art is. And in this case, except for the slight rounding, this pretty much looks like in-game graphics. It's actually simpler than in-game graphics. Do you know if that same artist did this one too? You don't know? It's interesting the decisions they made. So they went for like a gradient, like a basic, like a simple banded gradient instead of like the detail that's actually present like in the black hole itself. Good choice. They smoothed a lot of it, but like otherwise this is like a very simple, which it's like the title is what draws you in, right? A game about feeding a black hole. This is an interesting piece. You know what I should have done is I probably should have spent more time looking at other people's capsule arts before I just YOLO swaggins into mine. But I think we're heading in a direction. I could see this one. I could see this being it. You know? I probably need to fix the colors and make some compositional changes. And maybe I add some more details. But like, I feel like we're getting close to something that I feel like I could use. I don't think we're there yet, but I feel like we're getting closer. Everything is still very crowded, and there is very little negative space. But I don't know how to get around that. Like we could just move everything further apart. Like we could just like less crowded. But then yeah, then we need to do more things about the title, right? We need to like I would need to change things about the title size. I would probably make the title bigger. Yeah, Yeah, I'm sure this is not a terribly technically correct composition, but like for this it's okay. For the header capsule gets cropped a little more aggressively, which is a bit of a problem. I chose these sizes very carefully, by the way. These were not arbitrarily chosen. Well, here's one problem. We lose Jonesy in this. Maybe the reflection bubbles shouldn't be up here. Maybe they should be below or something. No, I do like them there. I don't know. I need to bring the title down a little bit. Not quite sure what to do with that. And then the vertical page, like, what do we even do? Do we just rearrange everything? We probably just rearrange everything. We probably bring the text in and the bubble, like, up. We probably just move around the elements so that we get a more vertical composition. And then the page background. The page background is like, what do we even... We just have a version without the text or something. Bundle assets probably is okay. Actually, it probably has the same problem. Yeah, it has the same problem as the header one. It's too squat. I don't know. I'm also very concerned about the small capsule art. I kind of like our little bubble ship, though. I think we got close. To what we were going for. Page background isn't necessary? No, it's not, but they'll just pick a screenshot. Hey, K-Cug, how's it going? Cool bubble ship. Yeah, we tried to implement a bit of a bubble ship here. I don't know if we quite did it. We got very close to just ripping off the Mobius bubble ship. Probably need to do something about this bowl-shaped thing here. Do I maybe want it to be the opposite, color-wise? Yeah, I actually think our contrast, we've done a pretty good job on contrast. Maybe the bubble is a little too bright, actually. Like the outline of the bubble, if it's going to overlap with the title, it might confuse it a little too much. It also might not. I don't know. I think this is probably where we're going to have to leave it before Ludum Dare. I know we have a little more time on this stream, but I'm not quite sure what to do except stare at this and make little changes. I'm not totally happy with this engine trail thing. I think an engine trail is good. Like, I think an engine trail is better than no engine trail, because with no engine trail, it just feels like you're just floating. But with an engine trail, it provides the whole piece, the direction. Well, I gotta mirror it because I'm on stream. But like, it feels like everything is moving from the left to the right, which is like the correct read, right? For like an English-speaking title. Because like the star is getting sucked this way into the black hole. The ship is moving this way. You read from left to right. So like your eye just goes from the left to the right. There's also the big bright, like it's drawing your attention. Like I think The flow is okay. I think it's too busy. Hey, Hamburger. What are you up to? We're trying to work on like a capsule image. We're trying to work through some of the requirements to put up like a Steam page. So we've been trying some different capsule image style things. I do think I need to darken some stuff. How much darker could this go before it just becomes unintelligible? I also feel okay about the colors. I don't love this just flat back color, this flat color here. I want to make this look a little more 3D. But I have to be careful that I don't just wash it out or that I don't make it hard to read the characters. How are you doing? Oh, you're taking a walk? Nice, nice. You want negative space? Maybe a smaller star would work. Maybe. I want to be clear. I don't necessarily want negative space. I'm just being told what are the things I should think about. Like, I don't see how to do one of these without actually tightly packing everything in there. I just don't see how one does such a thing. Maybe I need to separate the overlap a little. No, I think the overlap is okay. How many more shades do I have available to me? A couple. So what if we messed around with the colors a little bit more? Kind of hate that. Can we drop this down a color? Right, here's with that. Can we drop this down a color? Oop. Kind of. A little ambiguous if the interior of this and that is the same. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Chris Knife, engine trail should look like a butane flame. Needs a smaller, brighter triangle inside, maybe. Maybe try a blue trail. Well, I'm trying not to overdo it, because like these ones don't have that going on. Trying not to overdo it, but you might be right. A blue inner flame could be interesting. You feel like the yellow engine trail somehow distorts the yellow bubble shape. You might be right. You might be right. Blue is an interesting idea. We don't really have blue represented in here anywhere. I don't ignore advice. I disregard it. Arneo, more ideas? Some light contrast between the black hole and the star could look interesting. Like maybe the edge of the light color shift, it going diagonally between them. Not quite sure how to achieve that. I was also told to be careful about overdoing the contrast with that background element. Because it is a background element. See you, Nix. Looks like coffee from the bubble is leaking out. Yeah, I don't totally love that. I need to dive in and be more particular about how this trail looks. Here's a good blue. Okay, blue could be good. I do like that the bubble is slightly affecting the coloration of it. I don't hate that. Hey, Imperial. How's it going? I kind of like this. I'll probably refine this engine trail shape. This is literally the first shape that, like, was not absolutely terrible. That's why I kept it. Whoops. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm good. Busy, tired. All the good things. Ludum Dare starts tomorrow. So we're just working on our capsule art idea a little bit. Okay, I think the blue was a good call. The blue was a good call. I'm not totally 100% on having the characters in front of or behind the bubble fill. I like the bubble fill. I like what it does to the rest of the ship too. So I feel like the rest of the ship is kind of distracting. So I kind of want the bubble fill to affect the ship, but not the character. Does mean I need to do something. I need to hack it a little bit and do something like that. But yeah, I don't think the bubble fill can affect the characters. I think it's too much. I think it makes it immediately I feel eye strain looking at this. I don't know. I could be bullied into doing it. I just think it's a little too much. I mean, I could reduce the amount of the fill. Like 10%. And I feel like it's not doing much of anything, though. Audio, you just drove over a pig with a long ship in Valheim? That's crazy. You're getting serious FOMO for Ludum Dare? I wouldn't. It's going to be so intense. Maybe we do include them in the fill, and we just reduce the intensity of the fill to some value that's acceptable. Because you can kind of tell that it's doing something. Yeah, maybe I can live with this. It's subtle. Tense is your middle name. Well, you got a day. You could do it. Never say never. Got 1 day, 3 hours, and 28 minutes to reconsider. I think I'll need to remove the bubble highlights a little bit. I think they interfere with the title in a way that's kind of weird. But yeah, I think I'm okay with this framing. Mostly. I'll have to submit this to my quote-unquote art director, you know, get the sign-off. Get my next round of feedback on it. I'll probably make one more element to put lower, if needed, to, like, make a vertical composition work. Or I'll just move everything apart. Utilize the negative space. Thanks for the hydrate, Commander. Hey, Tobugi. How's it going? I saw you streaming earlier. Ready for Godot Con, it looks like. Pretty good. This is probably our last shot at working on our little capsule art here for a minute. Ready's a big word. Well, you're ready. You're at least ready for Ludum Dare tomorrow, right? Another streamer is doing like a month plus jam. It's supposed to be pretty chill. You might dork around with that one till solo jam. Oh, that could be fun. That could be fun. You know, solo jam is in like, yeah, like barely a month, right? Yeah, I'm not super happy with this, but this is definitely an improvement over our last composition, which was this thing. The ship, I'm very pleased with our little bubble, with our stupid little Adina bubble ship, our little Mobius bubble ship that we've kind of ripped off here. Stellan Atom. I think we're getting there. I do want to rework this exhaust trail. I have this habit that I've started forming with pixel art where as soon as I get a shape that I kind of think is okay, I like stop messing with it for a bit because I feel like it's really easy to overdo it on that end. Is that art? Is that art for your FTL-like game? Interesting, interesting emphasis. This isn't like something that we would actually use. I mean, like the bubble ship is not a thing that one would have in the game, really, probably, unless we needed like a little shuttle pod. I'm just trying to communicate the vibe. I would say that this is our FTL light game. I don't know how much I love this weird didgeridoo song we always end up getting. Ready for not doing LD? Yeah. No, you got lots to go on. I'll be excited to try the post-jam version of Terra Nympha. But the bubble needs to be an isometric cube. I know, right? I know. We have a little perspective in it. I need to do something with the interior of this sphere shape. I just don't know what. Maybe a slight shadow around the outside or something. Oh, none of these are colors in the palette anymore, right? Because of this bubble fill. I'm not gonna do this because this oh, maybe it's not. Maybe it's fine. Well, that looks more like a bowl kind of thing that they're in. It's still not great. I think having this like this is a mistake. But I would need to move a lot to make this work. Contrast is okay either way. It's not great, but it's okay. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Jokes aside, looks super cool. I appreciate that. We're getting there. We're slowly getting there. Turns out capsule art's really hard. It turns out my approach to making art, which is piece by piece, you like make an element, you make another element, you make another element, and you like figure out how to combine them, like game art style. It turns out that that approach does not work when you're trying to make a single piece of art. Like a single holistic piece of art, like a piece of capsule art. It turns out you need to do it the opposite way. You need to think about the composition, you need to sketch it out, you need to plan it. Which is not my style. Or my wheelhouse. Or bailiwick, or whatever. Turns out that's not my strong suit. But it's okay. I'll submit this for another round of feedback from my in-house art director, aka my partner, who's a real artist. Get her opinion on it. I think I do. I think I'm coming around to the idea of the bubble fill, including the characters. Maybe I like that bow look better. Maybe I don't. I understand that the lighting is all super confusing the way I have this arranged too. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, this chair is from something else entirely. Oh well. I think this is okay. I think we're in an okay place for now. I think considering that we have Ludum Dare starting tomorrow, probably put a pin in this here and just be okay with this for a minute. And then figure it out next week. I think this is an okay read for like the main capsule. I think it's okay. Like this is the frame of what the main capsule would look like. And I think this would be all right. It's still super busy. Still has some kind of awkward. It has some problems. It's going great. The center art is super polished. You made it a bit more gradient variation on the purple space. Yeah, I haven't decided what to do about that because again, I've been told that I have a little too much going on. But yeah, I like the element. I like the outer space element. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the anyone's learned perspective on this. This is way outside my comfort zone. Way outside. We could do a little bit more in the background. But again, when you crop it in real tight like this, and then you make it real small, I don't know how much we actually want to have happen. That's my problem. Seeing this, and then especially when you get to the small capsule one, which is like tiny. What do we do for that? I almost want to deconstruct it and take the bubble ship away and just put her by herself with, or maybe, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta think about it. I'm tempted to just have it be her with the small logo. And like none of this other stuff. Figure out, use slightly different art for that one maybe. Not quite sure. Pick a color that's easier to see, Jonesy, that's for sure. Oh no, Jonesy. Your butt got erased. There you go. You were not learned, total noob here? No, that's... you're... no way. You've already done all of this at least once. Just more than I can say for myself. Do I like the dark shadows, or do I actually like this kind of shadow better? It's a lot softer. I actually kind of like that. I maybe like that better than the full super dark shadow. Is there like an in-between somewhere? Oh, that's like literally the same color. Okay, interesting. I don't know. I'm not sold on that, actually. I'm not sure about that. I kind of like the softer title shadow than the full, like, black hole, dark. The dark. Since these are double pixels, I am tempted of taking Jacob's idea and making like a more sophisticated version of this typeface for just this purpose, but that becomes then a problem of like, well then what do you do for the small version of the logo that is 1 pixel? We have questions. We got more questions than answers. Pretty comfortable saying that. Get rid of this janky spaceship. I think the bubble interferes with the title a little bit, but I think we can work with that. Small version is tough, truly. In space, no one can hear your questions. That's also true. Oh, I see why this is becoming the way it is. There we go. K-Cug, the softer looks more cohesive. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I like it. I like it. All right. Well, I think we're gonna say this is. I think we're gonna put a pin in it, circle back, align our vision, utilizing my HR background here to corpo speak my way out of this. Because yeah, we got Ludum Dare starting tomorrow. Yes, CEO, sir. Yeah. Yeah, I'm the CEO, president, founder, and god emperor of Digital Iliad. Nice to meet you. I love seeing game devs that have like that kind of title sequence, and I'm like, oh, chairman, president, and founder of whatever game dev company, huh? Are you the only employee? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is okay. This is okay. But yeah, Ludum Dare starts tomorrow evening for us. We'll start the stream up and probably do some prep. We'll probably do some prep work for a few hours. We'll probably go back through the list of possible themes, prepare maybe some ideas for a couple of them or all of them, do some template work, maybe get the project set up, and then we'll have the theme reveal and we'll do some ideation for like an hour and hopefully figure out what we're going to do. And it'll be fun. That'll be fun. I'm going to call that day 0 for the jam probably, since it's a 48-hour jam. We'll see. You used to do that in the 2000 with your startups. You were a few times officially CTO of a small company of less than 10 people. Yeah, I think that's fine. Put that on your resume, you know? A little tougher to put God Emperor on your resume, but I think a little resume embellishment goes a long way. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I know this is short, but I need some rest. And believe you me, we will be busy this weekend. So I guess there's not much else to say. Good luck with the jam. Can't wait to see what you cook up. I really hope you'll know it's good if I spend next week just playing Ludum Dare games on stream all week, and you'll know that it's bad if I don't at all. I find the amount of post jam engagement that I do is directly correlated with how good I feel about my jam game. So we'll see. Yeah, if you see me on Tuesday and Wednesday playing Ludum Dare games, you'll know. You're like, oh, Dave got a banger out of this one. Yeah, thanks, Jacob. Thanks to Boogie. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you swing by this weekend. See what we get up to. Dare to be lewd. Bye.